There he is. You got him, you got him, you got him, you got him! You got the snook, got the snook! You got the snook!
We got to do some amazing types of snook fishing. I mean, there are so many different situations that they can live in.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
Very nice. That's a day maker right there.
Another nice snook. Whoa, jeez. Oh, shark, shark after him. Dang, dude.
You know, what we got to experience in whitewater was the ultimate sight fishing for snook.
There's, oh, that was awesome.
Nice
How about
job.
that feed? Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Come on, come on. Oh, he ate it. He ate it. He's nice, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I got him, relax.
Oh, dude, he just ripped my boat off. Oh, awesome. Look at that big boy. Woo.
The Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
Up there in the Everglades on the mothership, we had so many options. One of the best options was the snook fishing. And we got to do some amazing types of snook fishing. I mean, there are so many different situations that they can live in.
Yep.
But probably my favorite that we got to do was taking your tower boat up there.
Oh, yeah.
And being able to sight fish those guys in the really, really shallow bays.
You know, being on the houseboat, we heard from guys that had been fishing up there throughout the last week that there was good snook fishing in whitewater. And, you know, I'd never fished snook in whitewater. You'd never fished snook in whitewater, but at least they pointed us in the right direction.
Right.
General area. And a little intimidating going up there, especially in a big bay boat, you know, but that soft bottom and just, you know, having a good GPS charts, you know, kind of allow us to get in there. And then we just started trolling, motoring around these bays. And the first thing that we saw, and this is something that we learned in Louisiana, is find the lee side shoreline. It had been blowing for days out of kind of a north direction. So all we had to do was get up there on a lee side shoreline, and you could see the difference in the water.
Right.
Right away, you know, it was muddy out further. And as soon as you got up in that little cove, the water just got crystal clear.
Yep.
And man, was that fun for sight fishing, because you could get up on that tower and spot those fish from a long ways away. And it seemed like every lee side cove would have a fish or two in it.
Oh, we got it.
There's, oh, that was awesome.
Nice
How about that
job.
feed? Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, baby. That was awesome. He's up there with his back out of the water.
That was totally awesome. I'll give it to you. That was absolutely totally awesome.
Oh, he's a big one. Oh, that was awesome. I've never hooked one that shallow before. Oh, he's a big fat one too.
Bring him over here.
He just came over and just crushed it. It's so shallow he can't jump, Tom. He's literally up there belly crawling.
The bottom was so fine silt on the bottom. When the jig would hit the bottom, it would leave kind of a little smoke trail behind it.
Yeah.
And you could see that. And boy, that snook would see that too. And he would just take off and just crash.
That was the most incredible bite that I've ever seen from a snook, because I'm sure they bite like that when they're deep underwater.
Yeah.
But here we were seeing it waking across and just so aggressive, and just, I would think they'd be spooking every time.
Come here, Mr. Snook. Oh, look at your leader.
Yeah,
Your leader is
chafed.
yeah, very chafed. Be careful with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hook out for me.
Oh, he just crushed that thing. Wow. Sight casting him up there with backs out of the water.
And once we pushed up further into whitewater, you could see those backside shorelines.
We kind of figured out a little pattern.
Yeah.
And once we had that pattern figured out, even though we didn't really know our way around up there very well, we were able to stumble into some fish, because we just took what we knew. The wind's blowing this way, we need this kind of depth of water, and look at the chart and pick these spots out and go in there, and sure enough, we were able to find a few more.
Sight fishing snook.
Right when the sun came out. Well, I tell you, I could probably see one on the other side of us.
That is awesome. Man,
they're aggressive when we get something in front of them. They're eating it. I bet these snook have never seen a person, man, back here.
There's probably a pretty good possibility of that.
Because the reality is, when I've done this before around flamingo and stuff where they get a little more pressure, and certainly near the Keys, they just laugh in your face, you know?
Yeah.
These
Very
guys
spooky.
Oh, that's great. That is fun, man. That is really fun. Every one of these lee side shorelines, man, it's amazing how clear that water gets.
I guess I can get down and help you out with that hook. Did you get it out?
Yeah, I got it. That is awesome. He pounded that
Very
thing.
nice. Yeah, there's a good possibility that fish has never seen a human. We're back here pretty far.
Yeah. This is where I've heard, you know, so much about this area back here. A lot of the snook died in that cold front a few years
really?
back. But man, they have certainly come back in numbers.
Yeah, I have no idea how old that fish is, but he's not very old.
No.
Good one.
Awesome.
I love the snook.
Pretty sweet, man.
The Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Mercury Marine, celebrating 75 years of marine excellence. Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate. True Flies, life off the chart. And by Costa Sunglasses and Motor Guide.
Those snook, they're just a hard-fighting fish that uses structure to their advantage. And up there in the Everglades, it was a big deal trying to keep them out of those bushes. But if we could get them out in the open, you know, we could manage to land those nice fish. And what an incredible situation to see them like that, and then to use the height out of your boat to be able to look in this whole bay and you know exactly what's there. Because they were showing up like black little logs up there. That was just so different than so much of the other fishing that we've done. I mean, we fish snook in so many different areas, and really right around here, you know, one of our favorite ways to do it is to go up under the mangroves.
Sure.
And the water's clear, and often we'll use the live pilchards to chum them, and the fish are sitting way, way, way back under.
Can't see them.
Can't see them at all.
But you know they're there.
So that's when we use the live pilchards. Then maybe that snook starts to come out to where, you know, you can get a cast up under there.
Way to go. That guy was just right under one of those little branches, huh?
He was out actually way away from the trees. I was actually reeling it in when he bit. First cast, man.
And I tell you what, whammo. Nice.
Yeah, that's a good fish. That's awesome. Oh, look at that, another
He
big
is
boil there.
barely hooked, man.
Be careful, I don't know if that was a shark or what, but a big boil right behind us. Nice!
That's a fat one.
Nice, that is cool.
Look at that hook. He is barely hooked. Look at that. Came right out. What was that? Like some stuff in his
He's
gills.
fat, huh?
Yeah.
Chunky.
Good one.
That's awesome. Awesome.
I love the snook.
The snook is a very smart fish.
They are smart.
It's a very wary, smart
usually,
fish.
I would say this, is I would say if I can see a snook, I'm not gonna be able to catch him.
Right.
You know, if I know he's there and we can chum him with the pilchards, you know, we can catch him around the mangroves. The other place that I catch him close to home here is around the rock jetties.
Yes.
And it's the same kind of thing. If I see him, if the water's clear enough to see him, usually they don't bite good. But on those dirty days when the wind's blowing and the water's a little cloudy, knowing that they're on those jetties and then going there with pilchards or something like that, and you know, I can't see him, but you just keep fishing, bouncing the bottom with a live bait.
Right.
And you know, all of a sudden, boom, you got him
Yes.
on.
I got a bit.
Yeah, man. Good job. Keep him away from the rock. Oh, yeah, nice snook. Whoa, nice job, dude. All the cars driving by.
Big
Oh, nice. It's a nice size one. I haven't seen any this big lately. Real nice one, real nice one.
I like that one.
Ooh. That's a good snook. Look at the size of that one, huh? How about that?
Love it.
Nice fish.
right by the bridges. In fact, probably inside of where we're sitting right here on the other side of the bridge. We even took Danny and Cody there and caught a beautiful snook there.
Yeah, that's a nice, oh, look at that size. That's a giant snook, man. Look at him.
Sweet, Cody.
Look at him.
You're doing awesome.
Nice
You're
and
doing
easy,
awesome.
nice and
You just
easy.
keep coming, all right? I'm gonna get this guy.
You know, the tension mounted. We'd had him on, we had lost some, we had seen him. You know, we finally had this big one hooked up. He was doing a great job. He listened, kept the rod to the right, pulled the fish away from the bridge, worked around the motor. You know, very exciting. And then as we're seeing this fish coming, you know, we're like, we got to get this guy in the boat.
There we go.
Woo, yeah, man!
Look at Buddy, that's a
How
fish.
about
That's a
that?
fish of a lifetime right there. Bud. That is a fish of a lifetime right there. That is a really, really nice snook. I haven't caught that many snook this size. It's a really, really nice one. Now this one's just like a largemouth bass in the way that you can hold him, and also the way that he will flop when you first grab him. But that is a beautiful, beautiful fish.
Man,
Dude, that
how
is
about
really,
that?
that's a nice fish, dude. Nice fish. I mean, they do get bigger, but that's, I mean, I've done a lot of snook fishing. I don't catch a lot of them bigger than that. So, yes, sir.
Nice job, man. How about that?
Good job, brother.
The Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Yeti Coolers. Wildly stronger, keep ice longer. Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Quantum Rods and Reels, fishing at a quantum level. King Sailfish Mounts, release mounts for that once-in-a-lifetime catch. And by Fraybill and Power Pole.
Snook, you know, it's kind of like playing with a house cat. You know, you can play with a kitten, and you know, you move a piece of yarn on the ground, and any kitten's going to jump on top of it. But the old house cat, you know, the 10-year-old, you got to really do some finessing to get that thing to come out and play with you, right? That's how I feel about a snook. Kind of like, it's like, you know, in the you got to throw those pilchards, you got to get them to pull out from the bushes, and then maybe you can get the bite.
There he is. You got him, you got him, you got him, you got him.
The snook, got the snook, got the snook.
You got the snook. Awesome. Woo.
Did you see that? He came up and ate half a pilchard that the snapper ate too.
Now, that's a different one than I saw. He's bigger, or smaller than the one that I saw. Oh, there's, see, the trick is though, you gotta wait for him.
How about that? We just caught a backcountry slam in about 10 seconds. Wow. That's awesome. Awesome. Wow. Wow.
Good job. I thought you were
Wow.
gonna pull it out of his mouth. You got a little excited. You looked like you were ready to pull it out of his mouth. And
Dude, a snapper had just eaten the pilchard and cut it in half. And then, how about that?
But what we saw up there in the Everglades was totally different. Clear water, and we were able to get the bite. Another situation where we absolutely couldn't see the bottom when we went into the no motor zone
Yeah,
with the
canoeing in there.
canoeing.
Yeah, that was incredible.
There you go.
there he is.
That looks like a good one. Yeah.
Again, the cast deserved it, you know. That's what's so rewarding. It's just cool. You know, to look back in there and see that spot. And then try to get in there.
It's a nice one, man. Here, I'll grab him for you.
Here, I'll grab him for you since he jumped in my lap. Hurry up, man. I got places to fish.
Well, I think I might have to delegate you to the back of the boat on the way home.
But there again, we couldn't see the snook. The snook couldn't see us.
We
It
didn't know
was
what we
very
were catching.
muddy.
We were throwing out one cast, you catch a trout, one cast, you catch a redfish, then one cast, you catch a snook, and then it seemed like we got into a flurry with a snook, you know, one after the other. No idea what was there.
Right.
It's just throwing into the dirty water, and you know, and they seemed to really bite good there.
All right. Cool.
Right under there.
What is it?
Nice, another nice snook.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, shark after him.
Dang, dude.
That was a shark.
Keep him out a rod length away or something.
Get. Did you see that?
Well, I turned my head because I thought the canoe was turning over. but that was cool.
You know, I was thinking about that. What was the difference in all these different fisheries? Why do the snook act differently? It's probably similar to what it is with bonefish and everything else. It's probably pressure can be a big factor. Water clarity, different things, but pressure. Those fish in the Everglades that we were fishing for, they might have never seen a boat before. And you know, certainly the ones around these more common spots, they probably see, you know, a boat every day.
When you're lucky enough to take a big adventure to where you can go, you know, to a place that doesn't get fished, you generally have really good fishing. But you know, to find them in places like we fish, where either on the Cape, East Cape Canal, I mean, that's a situation where those guys see a lot of boats and a lot of fishermen, and we've been able to catch them up there. But you know, I wonder how well we would do if that water was clear, crystal clear, because when we've caught them up there, it's been very dirty.
Got him. There he is.
Good job.
Snook. Yeah.
So Snook.
I knew they had to be in there. I knew it. Yeah.
Very good.
Right in between those two snags there. Yeah. Yeah. That was cool. Yeah, man. Nice one.
Right.
I knew they were in
Very
there.
good.
Conditions are just too perfect.
Watch your hands, man. Stick those
Yeah.
hands down in that muddy water.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff with teeth around here.
There are. Between the crocs and the gators and the sharks, you gotta watch your fingers there. Yeah, that's nice.
Nice little guy.
Yeah, there should be some more hopefully. Right. That's good stuff.
All right.
As a boat owner, you know that you need to take good care of your boat and maintain it properly to keep it running perfectly day in and day out. Now, while that includes day-to-day maintenance like washing it and taking care of the electrical system, you can't neglect the fuel system. Now, if you're going to store your boat, you need to protect the fuel that's in the tank to make sure that when you go back to get your boat out, everything's going to be working properly. You probably already know about Stable products that help you store the boat over the winter, and you might also be using Stable marine formula to protect it every single fill up for the damaging effects of ethanol. Now, while these products are great for protecting the fuel in the tank, what they don't do is protect all the metal parts of your fuel system that are not continually covered by the fuel. Until now, Stable came out with 360 Marine, which, well, the best way for me to describe it, it's like a fogging oil for your fuel tank. When you put this into your fuel tank, it's going to emit a vapor. And that vapor is going to cover all the metal parts of your fuel system, whether they're continually covered with fuel or not, including the manifold and every other part of the fuel system that's metal. So use Stable 360 Marine to protect all the metal parts of your fuel system.
The Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay, the only key you'll need. The Florida Keys in Key West, come as you are. Stable 360 Marine, complete corrosion protection for your fuel system. And by Loadmaster.
We love to communicate with fans of the show. Now, while I'd like to meet everybody face to face, sometimes that's just not possible, but there are other ways. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Ask questions and get advice from both me and Rich. And don't forget about our YouTube page where you can see behind-the-scenes videos and full-length shows. We hope to see you there.
One of the unique things that we got to do on this last trip was fish with Troy Pruitt on some of these outside points between Shark River and Chokoloskee, and catching snook in environments that I've really it seemed like almost textbook, under the mangroves, just wild looking areas, off color water, and just throwing pilchards up there and catching you'd see a log sitting there.
Yeah.
You'd see this log out on this outside point, current coming around it, and you're thinking, if I was a snook, I would sit right under that log, and you throw in there, and there he was.
That's a big sucker.
Come on, brother.
That's a big fatty there.
Like the old days, Rich.
Yeah, man.
Grab the net.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one there.
Nice. That's a day maker right there.
What's up, brother?
Look at that guy.
You knew you had a bite there.
Yeah, you knew that.
That's cool. Look how dark he is. I noticed that right away how black he was.
That's pretty. Is it okay? I got the chills.
Good job, dude.
That's awesome, man.
That was a little more predictable, like almost like bass fishing. Like their structure, just like you were saying, it all looked right, and boom, you get rewarded with a good fish.
But you
there.
still couldn't see them. You would almost intuitively think they're there. And then once after you made a cast, you'd know they're there, and you'd say the next point there's got to be one there too. But you couldn't see them.
Right.
You know what we got to experience in whitewater was the ultimate sight fishing for snook.
Right. Yes, and that little experience was worth the whole trip.
Oh, that's a nice one. Woo, baby. That was awesome. He's up there with his back out of the water.
That was totally awesome. I'll give it to you. That was absolutely totally awesome.
I like this.
To the right. Look at what
Nice
happened here, baby.
Austin.
Austin, that is one of the biggest snook I've ever seen a kid catch.
How about that,
That
man?
is totally
Look at that big boy.
fantastic. That's one of the best fish in the ocean.
Let me get a look at him.
Nice fish, dude.
Look at that insider.
Woo! This thing is beautiful, man. He looks like he is just perfect.